How's it going, welcome back to the Great Green North. Welcome to one of the final videos of the 2021 lawn season. Today we're going to be talking about winterizer, final mow, and putting your lawn to bed for the rest of the year. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so as most of you know, the season unfortunately is coming to an end, and that means you need to hit your lawn with your fall fertilizer, you need to hit your lawn with the final mow, and you need to make sure you're getting the leaves and your gardens and everything cleaned up. So without further ado, let's talk quickly about winterizer. Is it too late to put down your winterizer? Let's talk about the last mow and everything that needs to go to do with that. So as you can see by the nice pristine lawn behind me, I just had my last mow today. Now let's talk about your final mow. So your final mow, you want to make sure you're dropping down to about 3 inches or 2.75 for cool season lawns up here in Southern Ontario, because this is going to keep the grass short enough that it's low enough to the ground that when the snow comes and mats this grass down, you're not going to be getting snow mold. You're going to be allowing that oxygen to continue to flow in the ground. You want to make sure you're doing this final mow before a snowfall, of course, before you can't get on the grass anymore, and make sure you're watching out for frost. I know some of you like to mow in the morning when the sun is just coming up, but if there is frost on your lawn, stay off your lawn. Walking on a lawn or driving on a lawn that has frost can severely damage it, damage the crowns. It can actually kill the grass or cause large brown spots. So making sure to stay off your lawn when there's major frost is a very important key. So make sure to do that when you're coming to the lawn in the fall. We had frost this morning. I stayed cut later afternoon. You want to cut sometime around 2-3 o'clock when the lawn is actually, it's better for the lawn to recover at that time. Pretty much my lawn is not growing anymore, maybe a little bit, but as you can see, just because it's not growing anymore doesn't mean it doesn't look really good. Without further ado, your final mow should be at 2.75 or 3 inches. Should be done probably around Halloween or just after Halloween for us here in Southern Ontario. And that's it for your final mow of the season. Next, let's talk about winterizer. Okay, so when we're talking about winterizer, this is your final fertilizer application for the year. Now, for those of you in Southern Ontario, we're still barely sitting in the window. It's supposed to be hot this week. I'm posting the video this weekend. This week it is supposed to be hot. You are still able to get down that final fertilizer application if you get it down quick. Now what you need to do, you need to buy a balanced fertilizer that has equal parts N, P, and K. That's the 3 big numbers on the bag. I would recommend getting a 16, 16, 16. This will give your lawn equal parts N, P, and K to put your lawn to bed for the rest of the year. Now, there are studies that saying hammering your lawn with nitrogen at the end of the year is not the best thing to do. This is why I like to get equal NPK. This just gives your lawn an even food feeding for the end of the year, so that when it wakes up next spring, it has equal, ample amounts of all 3 of the major nitrogen groups to feed your lawn for next year. So without further ado, if you can get that 16, 16, 16, put that down at 4 pounds per 1,000 on your lawn ASAP. Make sure that it gets watered in as soon as possible. Now you won't see any results. I put mine down a week ago. I saw a little bit of result, but not much, just a little bit of green up. You won't see any results this year. The way winterizer works is you're putting your lawn to bed with food. It will most likely not feed on until next spring, but it's just going to make sure that your lawn in the next spring is going to jump to a start. It's going to start growing instantly and be happy. So this winterizer is probably one of the most important applications of the year, because this winterizer is going to make sure that you have a great start for next year. And for those of you who have been following my lawn programs, making sure that you're feeding your lawn properly, you need to make sure that you're getting that winterizer down ASAP, because this is going to help sure that next year you're going to have a great lawn. If you guys did a great fall renovation this year, this is going to help get a good start to your program next year, and then you're going to be hitting your lawn with nitrogen applications all throughout next year, help strengthen the lawn, and then you'll have a golf course like lawn just like me. As well as this, I've been getting a lot of questions about weeds and weed controls in the lawn in the fall. There's no reason to spray any weeds now. In fact, it's actually too cold. When you spray weeds, it takes in the chemical through the plant like it's taking in water. The plants need to be actively growing. Plants are no longer actively growing, therefore there's no point in spraying weed control anymore. Most of the weeds are going to die off throughout the winter. What you're going to do is you're going to put down a pre-emergent next year. This is going to prevent broadleaf or most weeds from coming up in your lawn, as well as you're going to spot spray for broadleaf weeds next spring. This is going to help weed out the weeds in your lawn, no pun intended. And then after that, what you're going to do is you are going to keep hitting your lawn heavy with fertilizer and proper mowing practices. This is going to help strengthen your lawn next spring. So for those of you who have weed issues coming in here after your renovation, Don't worry about those weed issues. Worry about getting that winterizer down. Worry about getting your final mow down. That's the most important thing. So without further ado, I don't think I need to explain how to apply fertilizer. You're just going to be going up and down at 4 pounds per thousand, throwing back to your previous wheel mark. For those of you looking for videos about how to apply fertilizer, check out one of my other videos linked up here. This explains everything in depth about how to apply this exact fertilizer that I've recommended. It will be available in the link in the description, as well as an iCard up here. Without further ado, leaves in the lawn need to be removed at this time of the year. We're getting to a time in the year where leaves in the lawn are coming down quite heavy. If you can do your best to remove the heavy of the leaves, make sure your lawn does not get smothered out over the winter. Leaves also carry disease pathogens and other things that can be transferred into your lawn. So just make sure to get as many leaves as possible. As you can see in the back here, there's always some stragglers left over. That's fine to mulch in. So if you have large trees like I do, make sure you get away the heavy of the leaves. This just keeps the lawn from being smothered out, and then you can go tackle it later with your lawnmower and clean up all of the little stragglers that are left. So that's what's going on back here. As you can see, it looks almost leaf free, and our leaves are done. We have a little bit left on this tree and a little bit left over there, and other than that, as you can see, the leaves are pretty much done. Snow is supposed to be coming soon, so make sure that you get all that taken care of. As well, all your plants here, as you can see, we've trimmed most of our soft body stuff back. We have left some of these grasses. This is just because we like to look at them throughout the house, but we definitely trim them back to keep them more tamed for the rest of the year. So as you can see, all the beds are cleaned up. It's important to do as much cleaning to your beds and your gardens as possible, because over the winter, who knows where they come from, but leaves definitely come and collect in your beds, especially up against objects like a deck or a house. So right here, just weeding out, trying to clean as much as we can and making sure all the beds are clean. So we got a easy clean up next spring, because that's the most important thing, and that helps you and nobody else. An easy cleanup next spring. So without further ado, that's it for the lawn tips for the final, probably the final lawn tip video of the year. Now today I'm going to be beginning to put up my Christmas lights. So without further ado, keep looking out for a Christmas light video soon, how to dominate your neighbors this Christmas. And without further ado, for those of you in Canada or in the UK, please wear your poppy, celebrate Remembrance Day. We need to show our men and women in uniform that we respect their sacrifice and their service. For any veterans watching, thank you for your service, and thank you to everybody who helps protect our freedoms day in and day out. Now, without further ado, from the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. As always, leave any questions down below, especially regarding Winterizer or anything at the end of the year. Hope you guys had a great 2021 lawn season. We grew the channel really big this year. I'm really happy. Looking forward to everything else coming in 2022. From the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray, and for the last time for the 2021 lawn season, keep it green.